Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Doom Scroll with me. I'm doing this again because last night I couldn't sleep. Granted, I've come from two night shifts and that definitely messed up my sleep cycle, but it wasn't normal for me to go to bed at half past 11 or 12 and then be up until half past 5. And my brain just wouldn't stop thinking. I do not have an addiction to Facebook and Instagram anymore, but over the course of several months of listening to informative YouTube videos whenever I had some spare time, not literal spare time, but tasks where I could focus on chores like washing the dishes, where my hands were doing something else, but my brain wasn't really working. I would play a YouTube video, and it just sent me down several different rabbit holes. So, what we're gonna do now is go over the videos that I've saved in my playlists, and we're gonna talk about what was going through my mind, why I saved it in my playlist. And the goal of this is, other than reflecting on my thought processes, I want to be able to consciously weed out videos that are a waste of my time so that I don't waste any more of my life than I should. So, this is the Oppo Find X9 and it has a screen record feature, which I'm so glad it does because I don't know much about tech or the different kinds of YouTube videos that I can make and put up on a YouTube channel. I mean, I know what they are, but I don't know how to make them myself. So having this screen record feature inherent in the phone is really good. So I'm just going to show you my algorithm. I'm just going to see what notifications I have. I like Yang Haiying. Most of the channels that I like are underrated. I mean, at least the individual people. I haven't done Donna Eden's energy medicine exercises in a long time. There was a time when I was so into energy healing, but I have a very weird love hate relationship with spiritual and energy healing because I'm not really what you would call psychic, and I do feel them as tingling or a warmth in the hands or the body, but I don't know what that means. Blue Heron Arts, I like calligraphy, and there was a time when I was really into it and practicing it actively, but not at the moment because I've just given myself so many hobbies. And ever since my worldview has taken a negative turn, I haven't listened to Asia Suler in a while. Her message is that the earth supports us and nature is our friend. And to a certain extent, it is, but there's so many things in the world, the processes in the world, that are against us as well, or the way that humans are built. The earth and nature isn't super friendly to us, and we aren't really friendly with each other. Hypno Daddy, I used to be into subliminals, and I don't know what it did for me. I believe that it works on a subconscious level to change your outlook, but I'm still skeptical how that would translate into a drastic change in physical appearance. Shi Yang Yi, that's, I think, mm, Tai Chi or some ancient Eastern ancient system on how to improve yourself. Matt Diavella, minimalism. Haven't watched his content in a while. Jenny Rebecca, I've watched this video the other day. She's a psychic, and I've paid for one reading with her. Her prices are in the range that I can't afford, so she's for those people with a lot of extra money to spend on these things. Shell Bisley, I watched her videos a lot when I was getting into zero waste, and I'm not gonna watch that. I'm past the stage where I go to the thrift store to look for stuff to add to the clutter in my house. Amy Lucas is the same. She's part of the zero waste community. So all of these notifications, they're not something that I would be interested in watching now. Intuitive Sage, I bought her intuition development course back when I was still in my spiritual learning phase. I've been through a lot of phases. Bible Illustrated, when I was still deconstructing my faith. Same with Jerusalem Perspective. These are all of the channels that I haven't really visited in a while, and I haven't thought to proactively type their names in the search bar. I have a lot of subscriptions. If you want to see what they are, it will also give you a sense of what kind of person I'm like. And there was a time when I was dreaming that I could write my own songs, but tough, I don't really like it that badly that I would spend my very limited free time learning about music from the ground up when I didn't grow up with a strong musical background. And I have other interests, and the price that I have to pay in order to be good at this, I'm not willing to pay it. So that's just like a fantasy self. Sometimes I like watching history videos, but not today. I also went through a tarot Lenormand oracle card reading phase, and I still look at them from time to time. But I'm not really interested in learning about my immediate future or the distant future. My to-do list is always preoccupied with what I need to do in the moment. Reality shifting, I can probably unsubscribe from that now. Turn that off. And it's the same with ACN. Where was it? I'm pretty sure I turned that off. So, subscription wise, I'm just gonna give you a run through of who I am currently subscribed to. I'm entertained by 5 Minute Crafts because I like watching life hacks to make day to day life easier. Anything that would make day to day life easier, I am interested. A Pinch of Patience. These were um, homesteading videos that I used to watch. History, like I mentioned, minimalism. Abby Marquez, she has a lot of Filipino recipes that I can learn from. Japanese culture, musician, Gnosticism, Procreate. I also wanted to learn Procreate. That's why I got an iPad mini. Guess what happened to that hobby? Singing. At one point, I was interested in learning how the Amish lived because I wanted to live a simple life myself as someone who is an ex shopaholic and is learning how to live simply with what I have. Amy Angel, another psychic, someone who makes videos while drawing on Procreate, calligraphy, Bible, budget slash poverty recipes. Ari World, I don't know why I subscribe to her. Art channel, social commentary channel, music channel, social commentary, nature, Japan, musician, minimalism, Gnosticism, political commentary, parody. I really like Bart Baker's parodies. Oh yeah, still recording. Just check that. Bart Ehrman, he's a scholar who's an agnostic, but he really goes into the historical side of Jesus. Social commentary, a lot of dog training videos when we got our puppies 4 years ago. That's why it's still there. Pessimistic philosophy, life hacks, American politics, because there's no escaping that when you want to be interested in what's happening in the world. Besame Cosmetics is my favorite brand. She criticizes overconsumption, Berry 9E, Gnosticism, Bible, Tarot. Bradley on a Budget, I watch his videos as soon as they come out because I really like his personality, and he has inspired me in more ways than one to appreciate what I have and make the most of what I have and be happy about it, even though I am not as extreme as him, obviously. And I've already gotten a lot of things from when I was a shopaholic, which I continue to enjoy. I'm not getting rid of them just so that I can live like Bradley, but the spirit behind his frugality, I'm here for it. Born into a Corrupt System is one of those pessimistic channels as well that I agree with. Music. Mm, can you believe that I spent over $1,000 to buy the course of Brian when it came to how to deal with my trauma and heal from it? He has a lot of nice outlooks, and I really liked his lectures on breathing and staying in the present, but I wouldn't spend that much money again. I'll just think of that as therapy. Brittany Watkins, she's into tapping for emotional overeating, which I really need because I'm the heaviest that I've ever been now. Bullet Journal, I used to watch that, but the system never stuck with me. I have my own. I like watching Japanese salarymen because I really feel sorry for how overworked they are. And sometimes I just want to press the thank you button to give them a bit of spare cash. Not that I have spare cash, but like a few dollars here and there. to do some good in the world. I don't know why I follow. Bunny Winkle is a New Zealand artist, I think. That's why I follow her. There was a time when I followed a lot of local artists in order to support their art. I forgot what Baron Writer is. I can probably unsubscribe from that now. Camellia Elias is to do with tarot, illustrator, tarot, Japan, another channeler. Just gonna unsubscribe. I haven't watched her in a while. Chantel Mila is on cleaning. Charisma on Command teaches you personal development. Charity Water, I used to donate to them before. They give 100% of their earnings to the people. Cheaper Ways NZ, budgeting for the win. Singing, budgeting. I also like learning about Chinese culture, and I do have some Japanese and Chinese language learning materials. But guess what? I'm doing YouTube instead of learning those foreign languages like I promised myself. Chloe, I like how she teaches violin because I taught myself violin a few years ago, and she's a prodigy, and she really is very passionate about what she does. Choki, I don't know, I forgot all about her. Haven't watched her in a while. Chris Rice is an artist. Christine Lan, I like her content on eco living and simple living and frugality. City prepping, I'm into that because I believe that I should get started with prepping. Tarot, cleaning, crafting, coloring, and because I'm into art, I also ventured a bit into the world of adult coloring and bought myself some coloring books. Minus the markers, what I'm doing instead is painting it in thin layers of watercolor. Spirituality, I don't need that now. Constella is an app that I have on my phone that I find very useful. It's like Evernote, but less overpriced. Cosmetic Up, it's ASMR cosmetic repair. That's something that I watch when I just want to unwind and when my brain can't deal with taking new information anymore. Budgeting, Creative Hive teaches you how to run a small business. I had that fantasy once, but I realized that I'd rather work my day job than um, work myself to the bone selling stuff that people may or may not buy because they don't have enough money. And I bought her course for like under $1,000. I know I wasted so much of my money buying courses that I don't actually use, but she is a good mentor for small businesses, and I recommend her content. Creative Rachie, she's a polymer clay artist. Well, she used to be. She works as a teacher, so I think her channel is not very active now, but she has made some really good tutorials for polymer clay miniatures. Violin, pessimistic content, stoicism. I don't need his content anymore. I've learned a lot from him and I'm thankful. Um, Damien Eccles, I like his insights. This is calligraphy. Data is beautiful. I think my husband followed that when he was logged into my account. David the Good is good with composting. David Tran, I followed him because I was inspired by his singing progress video. Japan, decluttering. I don't need that anymore. I can unsubscribe. Dee's perspective, she's all about female empowerment or overconsumption, either of the two. Defend confidently, sharing self defense tips for women. This dance channel, I might have followed her because I needed to work out, but I've never watched a single video. So that can go. Antinatalism, I believe in that, so I agree with most of what she says, and I just want to support her message. Same with Diary of a Child Free. Diary of a Cheapskate, budgeting, Gnosticism, health content, budgeting, energy medicine, Korean cooking, budgeting, mental health. I don't believe in the system too much. I think that the system needs to change so that our mental health will be better. Dr. Osama, I like his dermatology advice. Drawing, pessimistic philosophy. Thailand Lane, I used to be into the ukulele too, and I watched a lot of her content that was really helpful when I was learning. Eddie Chen, he's one half of Two Set Violin, and he gets more serious and personal, and I like to see that side of him. That's why I followed him. New Zealand Hangi, sewing. I wanted to get into sewing but never had the time. Music, when I was still learning music theory, Eco Modern Essentials for the essential oils. I even bought their book and a few of their oils and a diffuser, which I rarely use. Eco Bricks, when I was trying to make one, I just follow them to keep up their subscriber count because I support their cause. Edward Murphy, I actually forgot what he was about. I think it may have been with his side cards, but I haven't really watched that in a while. Edvasion is social commentary, especially around Korean or Chinese pop culture. Simplicity content. Elizabeth Phillips has some good videos on how to study. Self sufficiency. Energy medicine. I only need to follow one or two. Energy Muse back when I was still in my crystal healing phase. Economics. I don't need to anymore. Epic Education. I actually have a lot of his courses. I paid good money to be able to listen to what he says. But currently, my outlook on life has just become a bit dark, and I'm not watching him at the moment. Personal finance. Esena was an Instagram influencer who left Instagram. Simplicity, current events with um, social commentary. Evolving Humans. I bought his course for 500 US dollars so that I could learn how to heal with energy, but he talks really soft and he talks really slow, so I haven't gotten far along with this course. Minimalism. This account exposes Morgue Official, which I watch and I just like to see the other side of him, the other point of view to get a more balanced perspective about Morgue. Extinct Zoo, Science Learning Channel, History, Face Yoga, not that I do that. Fairy Soul, because I'm into cottagecore and fantastical content. That's the world that I would like to live in. I forgot about Fandabidozi, but from what it looks like, it's either witchcraft content. Homesteading, Fear Decoded. I don't remember. Fiddlehead, violin, violin, violin. Fiddlerman is really good with playing the violin. That's why I subscribed. Self explanatory, those two. Workouts, budgeting, social commentary, economics, channeling Jesus. I may just stay subscribed for a good while. Gooby and Doobie, I like watching him as well. Grace Note is a Filipino band that composes their own songs, which I like. Self-explanatory, Japan, Ground Zero Media, I support them. Hannah Louise Boston, she provides commentary on shopaholicism. Harvey in China shows China from the perspective of a foreigner who lives there. Crystals, Healthy Gamer, I agree with most of Dr. K's content, but not all. Not a lot of these men are experts when it comes to women, and I just find it funny when they try. Otherwise, I agree with his mental health content in general. Violin, crafting, crystals, spirituality, Hobo Road. I'm interested in how the homeless live. Homesteading, Japanese Salary, Honest Ads is such a good parody when I just like to have a laugh. I watch their videos. Household Hacks. I'm not gonna bore you with all of my subscriptions, but I have just given you an idea of the kind of content that I follow. And these are just more of the same topics, just from different creators. I see you advantage so that I can keep up to date with my nursing knowledge. Amy Lucas, I feel like I've already um, mentioned her previously. I don't know why it came up again. Improvise for real, songwriting, violin instead of working. He is trying to see how we can work together with AI instead of against it. Some of these are just people who are in my life that I follow because I know them in person. Makeup tutorials, meals. Have I gone? I feel like I didn't go back, but I'm seeing duplicates of accounts, so I'm just unsubscribing to those that I feel like I've already seen and discussed. Mm, I like Jill's Meals. I don't need to follow this anymore. I just follow accounts like that for my work to keep up to date because the technology changes really quickly in my workplace. Recipes, the Journey app was um, a healthier version of Instagram, but I don't post very much on Instagram, let alone Journey. But I'm just gonna stay subscribed in order to support their cause. Julia Dreams has some good Procreate channels. He, I think, has some good violin videos. That's why I subscribed at some point. Kate Cassidy talks about technology. I don't know why I'm following Kathleen James. I forgot who she was. A friend. I forgot what Carrie Kay talks about. And Kelly Ann talks about witchcraft. She's an artist. I know that in person. Knife skills, social commentary. Crypto, not into crypto anymore. Supporting Kiev independent. I hope that Ukraine somehow recovers from this war that Russia dealt to them. Really unfortunate. And I'm sad that I can't do anything about that. Social commentary with a hint of vintage. Laura Oldani, I like her framework for living without billionaires. Antinatalism content, historical content. I especially like historical cosmetics. Learn tin whistle. I have a tin whistle, and guess what? I feel sorry for myself for wanting to learn all these things and not spending time devoting myself to them because realistically, who can do all of these hobbies with a full time job and a household to run and kids to raise and pets and plants to take care of, honestly? These are the rest of my subscriptions, and they are just more of the same categories as to why I follow them. And I can't believe how many I am subscribed to. Does this give you an idea of the kind of person that I am and what drives me? I even have kombucha. I have a few bottles going, but they've become too acidic and I can't seem to get it to taste like the commercial ones. So it's just sitting there gathering scobies. They're just more of the same. Some of them I stay subscribed to support them in real life, and some I am interested in. Um, or I was interested in at some point in my life. Let's just scroll to the bottom because why am I subscribed to this many people? I'm just giving myself information overload. And Dai, why does she have two accounts? If I could choose who I want to be Liziki. Sorry if I'm butchering that with all of the things that she knows how to do. I feel like even if the world collapsed, she can live and thrive with all of the knowledge that she has. Zoe Unlimited is a good personal branding channel. Singer, this one I like Zaza's lifestyle content. He's not an influencer, but I like how he shows his real life in China, someone who is single with no kids. Another psychic, YV Edit, is a very good feminist channel and gives women lots of good advice regarding how to avoid toxic men. I'm into that. Yura Game, I followed her for her vintage compact content because I used to own a lot. I've sold off more than half of them, but I liked how she shared how she would clean and maintain and reuse the compacts. Tarot, origami, witchcraft, nature. To counter all of the pessimistic channels that I follow this channel, We Love You. They have a very optimistic message, and I just like learning and listening to opposite sides of the same coin so that I become more informed as a person. And I think they're really good for your mental health if you're looking for some self help, if you want to pull yourself out of a funk and learn how to think in a way that's healthier for you. Follow lots of violin content there. And I really don't play the violin very much now. So it's a good time for me to unsubscribe from some of them. I love some vintage toys, especially Polly Pockets. That's why that's there. I don't need duplicate channels of the same thing. Travel Fashion Girl has some really good tips for traveling. So, yeah, definitely more of the same. I'm just looking through my list to see if there's any interest that I haven't explained to you as to why I'm following what I'm following. But I feel like I've discussed most of them. Stephanie Lang is a good creator to follow when you're suffering from low self esteem due to self image issues, and she's something that I would definitely have my teenagers watch if the media is getting to them regarding their bodies. Stancy Potenza is a feminist as well. Spencer, he has some really good content on dumb phones and physical media, songwriting, sketching, calligraphy, the environment, overconsumption, investing, herbalism, prepping. I feel like I already followed Bernie Sanders from the beginning of the list. I don't know why it's appearing here again. Dancing for workout's sake. I personally don't dance and I have no interest in that. Art, Sarah Beauty Corner, DIYs, Japan, budgeting, um, tech security, because I know very little about tech. And he discusses lots of privacy issues. And I feel like I've given up at this point because it's so hard to avoid all of them, especially now that I own an Android phone. Um, Procreate, art, predictive history, singing. Why am I following Polymomo T? Was he an artist? I can just follow him again if I encounter him again in real life. US politics. Phil Mufaraj is a good singing teacher, but it's more that it's not his instruction that's at fault. It's how no matter how I practice, I feel like I'm just not very gifted at singing. I am improving, but not as much as I would like. Travel Con just not very gifted at singing. I am improving, but not as much as I would like. Travel content, I think. Personal finance content, nursing contents, Nurse John. If you just want to laugh and see things the way nurses see the world, he's very accurate while being very funny. Philosophy, homeless content, um, a local artist that I support. This is my current channel, but I'm changing the name, so that's not going to be my permanent name. And this is spirituality from a woman's perspective, but I don't agree with her point of view that reality comes from mind. I'm more of the belief that it's mind that creates reality. I watch a lot of content creators that have different perspectives on life and sometimes opposite perspectives. And from them, I form my own opinion based on my own judgment and critical thinking. And Natura Illustrata, I have invested in her travel sketching academy and I just follow her on YouTube, but her videos are mostly just introductions and not so much the tutorials themselves. Tarot content, Mrs. Frugal. I'm sad that she stopped making more videos. She deleted a lot of her long form videos. I learned a lot from watching her tips, and this is Uncle Roger. He's just really funny and accurate with how Asian food should be cooked. And I guess that's all for the subscriptions. Most of them. The rest is just more of the same. And this is just letter M. Luis Rossmann. I follow him for his right to repair advocacy. And instead of showing you the videos that I put on my list like I originally planned, I just went through my subscription list, and already I've wasted nearly 40 minutes of my life just going through this. But basically, my takeaway from this, based on the people that I follow, is I'm very fond of learning more about the world and myself and how to improve myself for real life's sake. And I want to be informed about the world even though I feel powerless to change it. And I'm only really powerful to change my world, which is really sad. And a lot of what I do is just to cope with reality and to make life as enjoyable as it can be. And that's why I watch YouTube. So maybe I'm gonna go into my playlist and the videos that I put in my playlist for another day. But what do you think of all these subscriptions? Is there something that I need to take out or someone that I need to follow that I'm not already following? There's only so much videos that I can watch in 24 hours because I won't be present for all those 24 hours. And there's only so much that I can apply based on what I learn, and there's only so much that I can choose to do, despite all of the things that I would like to do. I have limited time, limited money, limited energy. So I should just grieve for the fantasy selves that I would have liked to live, but I can't, and move on with my real life. That's it for today, and I will see you in the near future for another episode of Doom Scrolling where I can get to learn more about myself and tell you more about it. And I'll see you next time.